You know that feeling waking up on a Monday morning and you're already counting down the hours till Friday? Yeah, we've all been there. It's the classic 9 to 5 grind. But what if there was a different path? A way to get your time back, to own your life, to find your freedom? That's exactly what we're going to dive into today, using Tanja Hester's amazing book, Work Optional, as our guide. It's all about getting to a life where work is something you choose to do, not something you have to do.
You get a raise at work, right? You feel great for about a month, and then somehow you're right back to living paycheck to paycheck. You're putting in more hours than ever, you're moving up the ladder, but that real feeling of financial security just never seems to arrive. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, I promise you are not alone. In fact, you're right in the middle of a really common phenomenon.
Okay, let's just sit with this for a second. This quote from the book, wow, it really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? This feeling isn't just in our heads. We're expected to be on all the time, constantly connected or working more than ever, and feeling less secure than ever. It's a tough spot to be in, and it's exactly why this idea of reclaiming our lives feels so urgent.
So how in the world does this even happen? Let's break down what we're going to call the modern work trap. And listen, this isn't about you failing to manage your money. This is a systemic cycle that is just incredibly easy to fall into, especially when you're just trying to do all the right things. So the main villain in this whole story has a name: lifestyle inflation. You've probably seen those articles about people making six figures who still feel broke, and it's easy to just roll your eyes. But the book explains exactly how it happens. See, it's not one big dumb purchase. It's the slow, almost invisible creep of expenses. You work hard, you get a raise, so you feel like you deserve a few nice things, right? Of course. But then slowly those nice things become necessities.
This slide right here, this just lays it all out so clearly. Look at year one. You've got a reasonable payment on a used car, but fast forward 5 years. A few promotions later, and boom, you've upgraded to that shiny new SUV. A couple of streaming services turn into a whole bundle of subscriptions. That cozy apartment starts to feel cramped, so you get a house. Now, each one of those steps totally makes sense on its own, but look at that bottom line. All of a sudden, you need almost $2,000 more every single month just to keep up with your new normal. That right there is the trap. Okay, enough doom and gloom about the problem. Let's talk about the escape plan. This is what we could call the call to adventure part of our story. We're shifting from the trap to the dream. And you might be surprised where it starts. It's not with budgets or spreadsheets. Nope. It's all about your vision.
And this is just so crucial. Before you calculate a single dollar, you have to define what you're actually aiming for. What does that life look like for you? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want to start your own business but with a massive safety net? Maybe you want to volunteer for a cause you're passionate about. A work-optional life can be anything you want it to be. And knowing your why, that's the fuel that makes the how totally possible.
If you are finding this video helpful, please make sure to hit that like button and share it with someone who this might help and be a benefit to their financial decision-makings. Your support means a lot to me and helps the channel grow, allowing the YouTube algorithm to show this content to a bigger crowd. More people can benefit from these ideas and hopefully improve their financial well-being.
All right, so once you know your destination, you need a map, right? This section is all about building that practical, personalized financial roadmap. The book lays out a super clear step-by-step process to get you from where you are today to that awesome work-optional life you just pictured.
So the book breaks this whole journey down into 4 really manageable steps. First, you just track your spending for a few months. Seriously, no judgment. Just get the data. See where it's really going from. There, you figure out your comfortable spending level. And that word is key. Comfortable, not deprived. Then you can calculate your final number, your goal, and the most important part, you automate everything. This takes willpower completely out of the equation and basically builds a system where you succeed by default. It's brilliant.
Now we're getting to the really fun part, how to speed this whole thing up. And this is not about clipping coupons or giving up every little thing that brings you joy. The book's core strategy is what you could call a non-penny-pinching approach. It's all about focusing on the big wins to build wealth really, really fast. And this right here, this visual, is basically the engine of the entire plan. Just look at it. That bottom line, the one that says live on this amount, it stays pretty flat. That's that comfortable spending level we just talked about. But as your income goes up over the years, the whole difference, that big gray wedge labeled Save This, all of it goes straight into your investments. You're not inflating your lifestyle, you're inflating your savings. It's that simple. To put it another way, this whole strategy is not about sweating the small stuff. It's about making a conscious choice to keep your spending on the big three. That's housing, transportation, and food, to keep that in check even as your income grows. When you focus on those high-impact areas, you free up huge amounts of money to save and invest, which, by the way, means you can enjoy your lattes completely guilt-free. And this brings us to the ultimate goal, because financial independence isn't just about a number in a bank account. The real prize is designing a life that actually lines up with your values, your passions, and your well-being. The whole point isn't just to escape the grind, it's to have the freedom to build a life that's truly filled with purpose. So what are the big takeaways here? If we were to sketch this out on a whiteboard, what would we write? First, always envision the life you want before you even think about the numbers. Second, invest early, invest often. Let that money work for you. Third, create automated systems. Make success the easy path. Fourth, and this is the secret sauce, keep your spending steady while your earnings go up. And finally, prioritize being content over just buying more stuff. That's really the heart of it all. This journey from feeling trapped in the 9-to-5 to living a life of real freedom, it is possible. It takes a plan, it takes a vision, and it takes a commitment to maybe do things a little differently. So the only question left is the one right here. Your work-optional life is out there waiting for you. What's your first step going to be?
Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching. I'm Finance Puppy, and here's to a better financial tomorrow. Cheers!